Hey there, it's me, Chef Ian Brutalfoods. I'm going down the highway on a tasty chip. Continuing my quest to find, taste, and rate every chip in the known galaxy. And some from the unknown, some from the future, some from the past. I will rate the chips, and then I will kick your ass. And that's a guarantee. Today we'll be sampling, tasting, rating, and ranking a variety of different chips. So settle in, relax, and let's get chippy. First up, we have the Hawaiian brand kettle-style potato chip special batch series 808 number 26 sweet and spicy pineapple flavored with other natural flavors potato chips. Is this chip worth its exhaustingly long title? Well, I'm about to tell you. Now, these chips brag about being sweet with heat, and let me tell you, they don't really disappoint on either of those fronts. Surprisingly, both sweet and heat. In fact, maybe a little bit too sweet and too heat for me. They're weird because they really do taste like a pineapple. They used real pineapple juice to make the dust. Somehow they converted pineapple juice into flavor dust. Not sure the science behind that. So I would say that the name of the chip is very accurate. What they advertise is what you get. I just found it to be a little bit strange. I just don't think a really sweet chip is something that I'm in the market for. Especially not one that tastes so strongly of pineapple. I don't know, it was just odd. It's also pretty spicy. Not very spicy, but enough to build a bit of a kick as you eat. And although I am a master of spice, friends and family do call me the Spice Master. It was a little bit more spicy than what I'm comfortable with. It does have habanero in it, so there's that. I kind of see this as a novelty chip, something that's fun to try, but not something that I'm going to be eating a lot of. I don't even see myself finishing off this bag, honestly, so I will give it a C for okay. And it's like the native Hawaiians always said, you can't spell Hawaiian without Ian. That's why they named it that, because of me. I'll take the credit. Now, as with my other chip videos, we will be using the brutalmoose grading system of excellence to be handing out grades to these chips. This system has been tested time and again and proven to be the greatest ranking system ever created by a number of independently verified sources. Also, keep your eye out for the second opinion ratings from the brutalmoose Bureau of Taste, which is a mysterious body of taste testers that are here to counterbalance my ratings and offer you a sense of comfort if you just so happen to disagree with me. Which, I mean, you probably shouldn't, you know? It is my video. Next up is Tim's Cascade Style Special Batch number 13, Zesty Cascade Ranch. They claim to be extra thick and crunchy. Now, when I first saw these, I expected some ranch flavoring. What I did not expect was for them to look almost identical to Cool Ranch Doritos. It's got the blue and red spices that I typically associate with those Doritos, and even smells somewhat like a Cool Ranch Dorito. Taste-wise, I found them to be a little bit more peppery and maybe a little less flavorful than a Dorito, but still very good. It also has a little bit of heat, which I wasn't really expecting. Less so than the spicy pineapple, but still very present. Yeah, I didn't even notice the little peppers on the front of the bag, which would have been a warning that there's some heat there. I just wasn't paying that much attention, if you can believe it. So yeah, it's a mild heat, which is more my speed because I am a small child. I found that this chip feels a little more thin than a regular Tim's, but I could be overanalyzing. They're not listed as Tim's Thins, so I don't know. They say extra thick and crunchy. I didn't find them to be extra thick, just like regular thick. Either way, it's a very tasty chip, especially if you are a fan of Cool Ranch Doritos and would like to try it on a potato instead of a Dorito, which is a corn chip, I think. So I give Tim's Cascade Style Special Batch number 13 Zesty Cascade Ranch a A-. Superb. I probably said this in a previous chip video, but I'd never heard of these chips until I moved up to the PNW, and I gotta say, they have become one of my favorites. I really like Tim's, big fan. All right, here we got Lay's Wavy Funyuns Onion flavored potato chips. These are sweet, very strong onion flavor. Not sweet like the pineapple were, sweet, more of a oniony sweet. My question here though is, does it taste like a Funyun? I'm not so sure. I don't think I've eaten enough Funyuns lately to really recognize the taste. It is very, very oniony, and the wavy chip is a little soft and spongy. No matter the case, I definitely prefer a regular Funyun without a doubt. I think the idea of different chip powders on different chips is a very interesting and fun idea, but in this case, I can't really see myself going for these over the original. These are really oniony, like super, super oniony. If you enjoy overwhelming onion flavor, I think you will love these. I mean, just a few chips in and you'll be tasting onion. I like them, but it's just so strong, I really don't think I can eat a bunch in one sitting. I'm gonna give them a C for onion. Okay, Pringle's Everything Bagel. Really, really weird. These taste unlike any Pringle I've ever had. They're very strange, very stinky, and also weirdly bland. Like, they're not salty at all, they're just really stinky. It's hard for me to pin down a specific flavor, honestly. It's just a really bizarre chip. A peculiar Pringle, perhaps. I'm not sure that it's necessarily bad, but I definitely hate it. So that's not a good sign. It's really like bitter and gross and stinky. Is it cheese? Is it supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be cream cheese, and then maybe like the sesame seeds on top of an everything bagel, but it tastes really bad. Definitely doesn't taste like any kind of bagel I've ever had before. I don't even think these are worth trying for curiosity's sake. I just don't think they're good. Not great. Not great. Cannot recommend even a little bit. I mean, it's bursting with flavor, all right, just not with a flavor that I want. Ugh. Man, these unique Pringle flavors are really hit or miss. This is the Philly cheesesteak Pringle, which I find to be salty and oniony, but in a different way than the Funyun Lay. It's less sweet than a Funyun. It somehow does taste more like a grilled onion than just onion powder. And there's also a very strong cheese flavor, a very stinky, overwhelming cheese flavor. What I found surprising is that there was no steak flavor, which is, you know, at least a third of the name. So they don't taste like steak, they kind of taste like cheese, and I feel like it hardly tastes of Philly, which I would imagine of having a flavor that's like sad, stinky garbage, you know? I gotta say, I've always loved the idea of a Philly cheesesteak, but I don't think I've ever had a good one before. I think I've only ever had mall cheesesteaks, and they have been greasy and not much else. But I do like the idea of them, and I hope to have a delicious Philly cheesesteak someday in the future. As for the chips, though, they're okay. They're better. It's better than the bagel Pringle, that's for sure, but it's still not one that I think I would add to my usual lineup. A fun novelty chip to try, especially if you are a fan of the cheesesteak. But for me personally, it just makes me want to go to Philly to try and get an authentic cheesesteak for once and see what all the hubbub is about. I'm gonna give these a C. Okay, I think this is the last Pringle flavor that I will be trying today. It is the Carnitas Taco Pringle. This is a chip that tastes like a taco. Unlike the cheesesteak Pringle, this chip actually does have a meaty flavor alongside notes of lime and onion. They're salty, but not aggressively so, and they're built upon the Pringle-style potato crisp, which is a pure delight. And if you disagree with me, then you're wrong. My initial reaction to this chip was that it was bizarre and really strange just because of how much it did indeed taste like a carnitas taco. And I gotta clarify that it tastes actually like a taco. It doesn't taste like taco seasoning dumped on a chip. It does taste like a carnitas taco. It's very strange, but very good. On top of accurately evoking the flavors depicted on the can, the chips are also just really tasty. I like them a lot, and next time I want to buy a Pringle, this one will be on my watch list alongside my usual favorites. Well done, Pringle, and congratulations, Earth. I give them a A. Chester's new fries chili cheese, $2.99 only. Pretty easy to sum this one up if you are a chip enthusiast. So these taste almost exactly like chili cheese Fritos, but on a fry-style chip, which is a soft chip, but in a fun way. And I like to have fun. I'm a real big fun fan, especially when it's a really big fan. Not much else to say. It tastes like chili cheese Frito flavoring. I could not stop myself from eating them. I could down a whole bag of these easily. I don't know that they are better than chili cheese Fritos, but if you are a fan of that flavoring and want to try it in a different context, you might want to pick these up. I could eat a whole bag. I had to stop myself. B+, very hard to stop eating. Okay, so these are Chester's new fries, Carolina barbecue flavor, $2.99 only. Which Carolina? They didn't specify. I've never had Carolina barbecue before, but I kind of want to know which one is responsible for this shit, because I need my hatred of it to be more focused, more targeted to one Carolina in particular. One thing's for sure, whatever's going on in the Carolinas must be really fucked up. Because this is disgusting. First of all, it smells terrible. The smell is overwhelming. I can't describe it other than to say it smells either like North or South Carolina. Absolutely disgusting. The chip is very sweet, very, very sweet, very tangy. It kind of tastes like a ketchup, but like a gross Carolinian version of ketchup, like with way more sugar in it, way too much sugar. Especially after the success that was the chili cheese Chester fry, this was an all-around terrible experience, and anyone who likes this chip is probably a fucking Carolinian. And yes, I realize that you can't spell Carolinian without Ian. I get it, okay? I dug my grave at the beginning of the episode, and now I have to, you know, deal with the consequences. This is super disgusting, and if anyone were to open these in my presence, I would be immediately offended. I'm gonna give them an F. Just awful. Just like, absolutely terrible. That's as nice as I can be, honestly. Oh my god. This is the Kettle brand crinkle cut potato chips, bolder and crunchier, truffle oil, and sea salt flavor. How am I supposed to read this thing on the bag? Very hard for me to decipher. These chips are surprisingly stinky. The truffle flavor on the first chip was a little overwhelming, just because it caught me off guard. I love truffle though, and I find these to be pretty excellent. It's very strong, surprisingly strong. They do not skimp on the flavor here. It's very nice, very stinky, nasty, and salty. And I like the wavy chip too. The Lay's wavy chip was very soft and spongy, but this is a nice kettle chip with a nice crunch to it. Very delicious. And just because of how strongly stinky they are, it's easy to not gorge on these chips. I don't think I could eat a whole bunch of these in one sitting just because of the strength of the truffle oil. Well, I don't know, maybe I could. Maybe I could. Anyway, a little goes a long way with these, and as a big fan of truffle, I'm going to give these an A-. If you know any stink connoisseurs, be sure to recommend them this delicious chip. Oh man, these are the SunChips made with black beans, southwestern queso flavor. I love SunChips, and you should too. They're light and crispy, and I just love a SunChip. These specific SunChips are also made with black beans, which I've never tried before. I mean, I've tried a black bean before, I just not in a SunChip. They're zesty, cheesy, beanie, the tiniest bit spicy, like teeny tiniest bit. And although I feel like I get more of a bean dip flavor out of them than a queso flavor, perhaps that's just a placebo effect from their poopy brown color. This is another chip that I will be adding to my list of regulars. I will consider this next time I get a SunChip. They are surprisingly delicious, possibly my favorite out of the whole batch for this episode. I really liked these, and again, they were very hard for me to put down. I just kept eating them. I give the SunChips made with black beans Southwestern queso flavor a very, very tasty, highly recommended, especially to any SunChip or bean fans. If we got any bean heads out there, is that a thing? All right, we're gonna end this episode on the chip with the flashiest bag. These are the Doritos Golden Sriracha. They claim to be tangy and sweet, as well as a bold twist on sriracha and pure gold. I have not had sriracha in a long time, not since the pepper dispute. But I used to be a really big, so I was expecting this to be a bit of a throwback for me, but I don't like them at all. They don't really taste like sriracha to me. I don't know if golden sriracha is a completely different thing, but this was very sweet, almost like a sweet and sour sauce taste, and pretty spicy as well. Not burn your tongue lumps off spicy, but fairly spicy. If you like a spicy sweet chip, you'll probably disagree with me, but I'll never hear about it. I give these a D+. And again, I have no idea what golden sriracha is. Is that different from the sriracha I'm thinking of? I don't know. I should probably do my research since I'm making a video on them, but I'm just kind of a chip eater, you know? You guys have Google. Use it. So here we have the results of the Essential Guide to Chips Volume 4. Some good chips, some bad chips. We really kind of had a decent spread this time around. It's hard to say what my least favorite chip is, but it's definitely the Carolina barbecue Chester fries. Huge mistake. Those should not have been put into production, and Carolina barbecue as a concept and idea should be deleted, just completely removed from our plane of existence. As for my favorite chip, I think I'm gonna have to give it to the SunChips Black Bean Queso. Even though they tasted like a bean dip, I still think they were my favorite chip and the one that I had the most trouble putting down when I initially tasted it. Very, very good, very, very chip. If you have any current opinions on these chips or you run out and try some, please let me know how you felt about them in the comments section. There's always a healthy discussion about the various flavors down there. That's gonna do it for this volume of the Essential Guide to Chips. Thank you very much for watching. But before I go, I've got to say my #1 catchphrase. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. That was a terrible episode of Brutal Foods. Time to change the channel on my television set and then ignore it whilst I play my favorite computer game on my personal cellular telephone. Oh yeah, this is the good stuff.
Say goodbye to stains, you don't have to say hello. Grab the magic cleaner with the power of yellow.
Oh, I hate commercials. I'm tired of this Yellow Fresh commercial always popping up.
Yellow Fresh bubbles, Yellow Fresh shine. Yellow Fresh washing all of that grime. Wiping and scrubbing the Yellow Fresh way. Use it in the morning, brighten your day. Hello Fresh dinner, ready-made meals. Hello Fresh jingle, Hello Fresh deals.
Wait a minute, did that soap advertisement just say something about HelloFresh's delicious new ready-made meals?
The magic of yellow for you. With yellow.
Maybe I'm getting hungry. Wonder what else is on.
What they're saying about you, it just can't be true. John Jim.
But Tabitha R. HelloFresh is evolving in 2025 and offering new ready-made meals, chef-crafted flavorful dishes that are ready in just 3 minutes. Perfect for busy days when you need a quick, delicious meal with zero prep. Do you realize the pain you've caused me?
The sleepless nights, the hole that you've left in my heart.
John Jim Jackson, I thought we would be together forever. Baby, she's the only one I need. She's my everything, and I love her.
Man, product placement is really getting out of control these days. Wait, wasn't the song in that soap commercial talking about HelloFresh too? It's probably just a random coincidence.
Special announcement. Did you or a loved one purchase or receive a HelloFresh order as a gift between 2011 and 2025? If so, listen carefully to this important message. You are entitled to high-quality ingredients including seasonal fresh produce and proteins that travel from the farm to your doorstep. You also may be entitled to additional...
Okay, what is going on? Does my TV have a virus or something? It usually doesn't do this. It usually just plays the shows. Oh, it's Gorf and the family. I love Gorf and the family.
Gorf, what the heck are you doing with my golf clubs?
Dad, obviously I'm building a cool time machine, dang it. I want to go back to last week so I can get A+ on my maths quiz. But I've got a tea time with Billy Richards, the big time boss of my cutting edge futuristic widget company, in 20 minutes. And me, Gorf Daddy, really needs this promotion. Well, you know what Gorf's son always says. Enjoy more convenient
HelloFresh choices than ever with new options on the menu like
15-minute meals, prep and bake, and 3-minute heat and eat ready-made meals.
Actually, you know what? I think my TV is just fine.
Claim your free ready-made meals for life and 50% off your first box at HelloFresh.com with code BrutalMooseRM. One free ready-made meal per box while supplies last with active subscription. 50% off applied as discount on first box, new subscribers only, varies by plan. That's free ready-made meals for life and 50% off your first box at HelloFresh.com with code BrutalMooseRM. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a second to apologize to my favorite cities out there, Philadelphia and South Carolina. Philadelphia, I think you're really cool. Great job on the Liberty Bell and your Super Bowl wins. I think that's really neat and something to be proud of. North and South Carolina, you guys are awesome too. I didn't mean my hurtful joke, and I still don't really know anything about what you guys are up to, but I've been to Myrtle Beach before, and that was pretty dope.